What's good, everybody? Shelton here, back with another episode of Off the Top Show. This segment is going to be called Plain and Simple, where I go ahead and talk about our Wisconsin sports team. Obviously, we have them with the BD Boys, where I bring in my good brother James Menchow. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give my 2 cents because why not? We all heard the news of the Green Bay Packers making the acquisition to go ahead and get Micah Parsons. You want to talk about a bombshell into this year for the Green Bay Packers, going ahead and sending Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. We went ahead and gave Parsons a 4-year deal over $150 million. I want to say it's probably around like 186. I don't have the exact numbers, but we all heard the news. And if you definitely follow Wisconsin sports this past Thursday, that was damn near the talk of the state. You want to talk about getting a guy like Micah Parsons, a playmaker, a guy that can completely take over a game, not from the DM position, from the linebacker position. Anywhere that he's lined up, you have to account for him. You definitely have to go ahead and make sure that you have him squared away. This is such a big move for the Packers moving forward. There's no excuses anymore. You really look at this team and what they're built. Last year, we had a top 5 defense without having him on our team. Now we have this guy who is a complete game changer in Micah Parsons, to where now it should realistically free up Devontae Wyatt. It should free up Rashawn Gary. It should free up Lucas Van Ness. It should free up everybody, because that's how good of a player Micah Parsons is when he's lined up, hand in the dirt, or he's back at the linebacker position. Like I said earlier, there is no excuses for this defense to not be top 3. There should be no reason for us not to get off on third downs in critical times. There should be no reason why this team on the defensive end should not be able to make plays. Obviously, injuries take a very big part of what goes on within a season, but just looking at this defensive team for the Packers, you can go ahead and say that this is flirting with probably being potentially to be one of the top defenses that the Packers have ever had. Obviously, we have to see what happens week 1 against the Detroit Lions. That's going to be a very big game this weekend. Can't wait to see how we match up. But I know Jeff Hafley and those boys are going to be ready to go. And I can't wait to see what number 1 does to go ahead and contribute to this team to get us where we need to. First off, obviously, to go ahead and take care of the NFC North. And I think we got a pretty damn good shot at doing that. We just have to go ahead and play complete football in the defensive end. Obviously, it's not going to look pretty, but at the same time, you got to make it look pretty with what this lineup's looking like on the defensive side. Let's go ahead and go over the offensive side. Wide receivers, quarterbacks, O-line, tight ends. Obviously, we got Jordan Love at the quarterback position. We got Josh Jacobs. Reed is right now questionable with his foot. Obviously, Devontae Wicks is questionable. Christian Watson, he's out still with obviously that knee injury. I don't know with Wicks of what's going on with him, but hopefully he can go ahead and come back. I know both him and Reed were both practicing, so that is good. Romeo Doubs, good. Heath, good. Obviously, Golden switched his number to 0. He was 22. He had switched it, so sorry for all the people that went ahead and bought those jerseys. That's kind of a pain in the ass, if you want to go ahead and ask me. But he's back in a number I guess he wanted. I can see why you wait. But just let's start there with the wide receiver group. Last year we led the league in drops. Obviously, this year we don't want that to happen. When we saw the first preseason game, you're kind of scratching your head like, all right, is this going to go ahead and be repeat after what we did last year? To be honest with you, I was a little bit just upset in regards of like, this really can't be going on. When we saw in the first drive, I forget what the first team that we played preseason-wise, but you go ahead and get Romeo Doubs dropping 2 balls. Then we go ahead, do throw it to Golden, who does catch a nice slant route for a first down. And then I believe after that, we go 3 and out. Something that you don't want to see, because a first impression means everything, right? So now we go ahead and see that, okay, this might be the same thing that happened last year. But to get away from that, because I'm not about that negative energy, I really think that this group of the guys that I just mentioned, I forgot Williams as well, who's questionable. I don't know if, whatever injury it is, hopefully he gets back. But these guys have to be ready to go ahead and make plays when needed to. Yeah, RJ, it sounds cliche, but it's true. You got guys that we know that can make the plays that need to be made. It's just they drop the football, and you can't be having that. I think when I'm looking at right now what they have on the starters, they got Reed in there, they got Golden, they got Dobbs. If I'm Jaden Reed, hopefully the football gods take care of that foot that he's had. I've had that same exact injury. Hopefully it just heals properly and the injury isn't as bad as it seems. But just from looking at kind of what he was doing movement-wise just via Twitter, it's kind of concerning. But at the same time, we go ahead and make a decision, good or bad, and we roll. You can't go ahead and look back and be like, oh, I wish I did this or did that. I'm not in his shoes. So whatever he's feeling to go ahead and do, let's rock and roll. Matthew Golden is going to be a very good piece. I think he's going to go ahead and turn a lot of heads this year. Romeo Dobbs, that consistent guy. I'm not going to go ahead and put preseason on him, but he's definitely going to have to go ahead and show me that he's going to go ahead and be one of a reliable guy. Those three guys right there, I feel are definitely going to be solid. Now, Christian Watson out when he comes back. That's just only helping. This room has a lot of opportunity, and if they go ahead and seize their opportunities, we are going to go ahead and be in a very good position for this offense, just to go ahead and put ourselves in a position to win games. So I can't wait to see what they do, because there's a lot of potential on that side of the ball when it comes to the wide receivers. They just got to go ahead and get it done. And then obviously our running back position, Josh Jacobs, definitely the bell cow guy. He's definitely going to go ahead and take care of those, ground and pound games where we're maybe not getting the pass game going and we need to run the ball consistently. He's definitely going to get that done. Daniel Wilson's the backup, and then Chris Brooks. Lloyd is on IR. That hamstring is still killing him, which sucks. But if we look at this and I think of an offense for this year for the Packers, I want to see a lot of tight ends getting the football and a lot of running the football to make it easier on Jordan Love when it comes to going in and reading defenses and making the play calls easier for Matt LaFleur. Me saying that with the tight ends, Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, two guys that can do it all. I think we're going to use Luke Musgrave more in the pass game as a wide receiver due to some of these questionable injuries that we have going into week one. These two guys are going to be so vocal this year. And I think if they are doing very well, we are doing very well as a football team. Tucker Kraft, what is there to say about this guy? This guy's, as I said earlier about Micah Parsons, is a playmaker. He can do everything. He can block. He can catch. He can go ahead and be a guy that if he needs to go ahead and have his presence felt, he does more of the dirty work, but that dirty work is shown for getting Josh Jacobs open, or maybe getting Jordan Love in a rhythm, or opening up other guys if him and Luke Musgrave are side by side, going ahead and short of the field, getting open. Those guys are definitely going to be a very big vocal point this year, in my opinion, when it comes to this Packer offense. And then we have our O-line, who has been pretty steady, pretty good for, my time doing what I've been doing with this podcast. You got Walker, left tackle, left guard, you got Banks. Center, you got Jenkins. Right guard, you got Sean. And then right tackle, you got Zach Tom. And then the backups, we do have two guys, Monk and Glover, who are on IR right now. So, as I said earlier, there's no excuses for this Green Bay Packers team. If you look on this, where I'm looking at right now, and I see all the starters, it's like this is a team that should be able to go ahead and take care of the NFC North. There should be no reason why they shouldn't win at least 11 games. If there's something underneath that, I'm all good to go ahead and make it to the playoffs. But with what we have right now, the expectations for the Green Bay Packers is always to win an NFC North. And that's where I'm going to go ahead and keep my expectation every single year. So there should be no reason why they should have 11 wins. There should be no reasons why that we go ahead and split, if not go ahead and take care of the Lions, the Bears, the Vikings. I just, as of right now, on how big of a dramatic it was that we did to go ahead and get an edge rusher of what we needed, to where we're not sitting around on third downs. And when I'm sitting there last year when we were playing the Eagles and literally playing patty cake, we don't have those problems anymore. I'll tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. We will not have those problems because we went ahead and got a guy that is going to get to the football, regardless of what happens. So I'm excited. It's here. We go ahead and face the Detroit Lions this Sunday, 5 at Lambeau. Let's go ahead and get that one and send a message like, hey, listen, we had some things last year that didn't go our way, but this is a whole new slate, and I can't wait to go ahead and see what the Green Bay Packers do. Moving on over to the Wisconsin Badger football team. They went ahead and beat Miami, Ohio, 17-0. The defense had a shutout, which is good. You look at it, the quarterback went ahead and went out, Edwards, and got injured. I want to say right away on the first drive, but him still leaving. Fortunately, I think he's out for the whole year, which sucks. But then you go ahead and have a sudden change where now your backup quarterback has to go ahead and do his thing. And he did. Danny O'Neal, 12 of 19, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Total offense, you have 188 yards passing and 165 yards rushing. You had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So technically 3, not including O'Neal. But you had Jones, you had Darian, you had Cade. You had those guys at least average 5 carries. One had 20 yards, Cade did. Darian had 41 yards, and Jones basically leading the team with 14 carries and 73 yards. You know, if you're going ahead, and I've always said this on this show, and it'll always be something that I say, if you're able to go ahead and run the ball for over 100 yards in college football, let alone in any sport, you have an opportunity to go ahead and put yourself to go ahead and win the game from an offensive perspective. I mean, they had 165. Granted, okay, Miami High was terrible, but it still doesn't matter. You're still playing a game. You still have to go ahead and execute. And with everything that happened in the first half, you're looking there like, I mean, are we going to put any points on the board? It's something that you can be like, oh, yeah, we need to score more points. But everyone has to go ahead and get accustomed to playing that first game when it actually means something. You're not going and having a scrimmage against your homeboys. You're not seeing the same guys that you've seen in camp. These are different people that you're going up against. So it's always to go ahead and get that rust off in the first game. And I liked what I've seen from the defense. I mean, you can't go ahead and go, wrong with what you saw, having a shutout to go ahead and start out the season. Shout out to Mike Tressel getting those guys squared away from the defensive perspective. Wisconsin's always had a great defense. They've always had guys that are assignment sound, being able to go ahead and make the right reads, make the timely interceptions. Obviously, with Zachman, had 2 interceptions. You have plays like that. That's where you go ahead and put yourself in a position to win. You get 1 turnover, okay, we're still in it. Okay, now you get 2, you should win the game. You got Peterson having a sack. You got another guy having a sack. You got multiple guys in this game having half a sack. And the defense is playing like that. You're in a good position. So they go ahead and obviously face what is Middle Tennessee's mascot? They go ahead and face the Raiders. That one is in Camp Randall. That one is September 6th at 3 p.m. Another home game. They should definitely go ahead and take care of that one. And then you got Alabama. And we'll wait to go ahead and get to that next week. But I think I'm going to have a pretty good indication on what that game's going to look like. And then last but not least here, our Brewers. They go ahead and face the Phillies today. Then Wednesday they face them. And then Thursday they face them. They went ahead and won the series against the Blue Jays. Still top of the division, 85-53. Past 10 games, we're 5-5. So it's always good to go ahead and break even there. But now we go ahead and face a really good Phillies team. I mean, last time I saw, I don't know how far it was, but I saw the Phillies had like 20-something runs. So hopefully we go ahead and win this series again. This will be a big one to go ahead and see where we're at. I'm excited that our Brew crew are doing what they need to do. Let's go ahead and keep that thing going and keep that thing rolling. Get hits. Obviously, it's a pretty easy game. Keep obviously piling the runs, timely hits, good pitching, because that's where pitching right now comes in handy down the line. And just everyone stay healthy. I'm not going to get too in-depth in that. I'll let my boy Jimmer go ahead and take care of that one because that's his specialty. And then last but not least here, our Bucks. This is a long way out, but as you look at the schedule here, when it comes to just calendar dates, it's already September. There's already other teams like the Detroit Pistons, Chicago Bulls, and Minnesota Timberwolves that are going to be starting their training camp such where everyone's coming back to the building towards the end of this month. For the Bucks, it is October 1st that they go ahead to get things together where everyone's coming back to the building and going ahead and get in the groove a little bit. That's way out, but definitely want to keep that kind of in the back of your minds when it comes to our Milwaukee Bucks. Short and sweet, but with that, football's here. Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin Badgers. Can't wait to see what goes down. You guys have a great week. We will definitely go ahead and be on rolling where we'll go ahead and have the BD Boys segment with Wisconsin Sports. And then on top of that, have my good brother Tony Lippich with the Spartan Dog edition with the Michigan Sports. You guys have a wonderful week. We'll see you soon.